Sometimes I fear there's a creeping resignation that these tragedies are just somehow the way it is, that this is somehow the new normal. We can't accept this. As Americans bound in grief and love, we must insist here today there is nothing normal about innocent men and women being gunned down. The main difference that sets our nation apart, what makes us so susceptible to so many mass shootings, is that we don't do enough, we don't take the basic common sense actions to keep guns out of the hands of criminals and dangerous people. Well, I cannot accept that. I do not accept that we cannot find a common sense way to preserve our traditions, including our basic Second Amendment freedoms and the rights of law-abiding gun owners, while at the same time reducing the gun violence that unleashes so much mayhem on a regular basis.
Violence is so bad in one major American city that the governor is considering calling in the National Guard. We're going to take a closer look at what that really means. One city may be going to extremes to fight crime. It has gotten so bad in Chicago. You've heard the stories, with police actually having to line the streets to make sure that kids can safely walk to their schools. Illinois Governor Pat Quinn says he is open to the idea of calling in the National Guard, actually putting armed soldiers on the streets of President Obama's hometown. Under Article 1, Section 8, Congress has 3 constitutional grounds for calling up the militia, what we now understand as the National Guard, to execute the laws of the Union, suppress insurrection, and repel invasions. Brad, there are those who argue that's exactly what's happening in Chicago. There's such a gang influx that things are truly out of control there.
One of the people on my Facebook page got in touch with me in private and sent me this message. And I thought it was compelling enough to ask if he wanted to do an interview. And of course, a link to part 2 of the interview will be at the end of the video.
Alright, basically, I woke up yesterday morning. My friend called me, and he knows I'm not up at that time of day. And he called my girlfriend's phone after he called me a couple times, and he said it's real important. She needed to wake me up. So she come up there, hand me the phone. She's a little weirded out by it. She's like, your friend wanted me to wake you up. He said it's real important. So I get up. I'm thinking it had something to do with the cops or something. Well, I get on the phone with him. He says, dude, you're not going to believe what I just saw. He said there was a convoy of 3 trucks, 3 diesel trucks, full of these signs from front to back, side to side, top to bottom, of these real nice, expensive-ass signs that look like no trespassing signs, but like the color theme of them. But they say martial law is now in effect. And I'm talking fucking thousands of these things going to 3 local army bases. One's right across the highway from where I stay. And, well, they were all 3 dropping off at that warehouse, but they came in a convoy. They could not be separated, and the first truck that dropped off the first load would go with the third truck that dropped off the third load at the third place. Well, when that guy pulled up, he said to my friend, well, my friend works at a warehouse where they unload trucks and shit, and he said, you're not going to believe what I have in this fucking truck. He opens up the back. I'm talking, these weren't in containers, these fucking signs were just stacked. And, well, he got to talk to the guy about it, and the guy said, oh, well, I asked my boss about it. He said that's for a different country. Well, I'm from Illinois. This is the middle of the fucking country. Nothing's going to come here to be shipped over fucking seas. Like, we don't have Abrams tanks and shit coming here to get shipped to fucking Iraq. And my buddy asked him, why are these in English? And the guy said, that's a good question. Well, my friend started trying to take a picture without the guy knowing. The dude, like, fucking spazzed out and was like, oh, I could lose my fucking job and all this shit. Well, he unloaded all the signs on the first truck, and they took off in a convoy again. Basically, he called me scared out of his fucking mind. I mean, these are thousands of signs. Nobody's going to fucking just order a couple thousand signs without knowing something premeditative.